We often catch ourselves doing it in everyday conversation. We casually say we fixed a leaky pipe, painted the living room, or changed the oil, when in reality, we paid someone else to get their hands dirty. Take a look at this illustration. We have Lisa with a damaged roof, and as you can see, she's hired a professional builder who is making the repairs while she stays safely on the ground. Now, look at the text block right beneath that drawing. If we look at the compare section, it shows us exactly why saying Lisa repaired the roof is a problem. In English, phrasing it that way tells the listener that Lisa climbed up there with a hammer and did the manual labor herself. To accurately describe what actually happened, the language requires a specific structural workaround. We need a way to acknowledge the professional's labor while still keeping the client, the one who paid for and organized the work, as the main subject of the sentence. Mastering this pattern allows you to be precise about your involvement. It draws a clear line between the manual effort of the work and the decision to have it done in the first place. Fortunately, delegating tasks in spoken English operates a lot like a strict mathematical formula. Once you know the sequence, it works every single time. This breaks down Lisa had the roof repaired into 3 modular blocks. You need the verb have, an object, and a past participle. The golden rule is spatial. The object block must remain permanently locked right in the middle, trapped between those 2 verbs. This brings us to a critical warning point in this grammar guide. If you look at the first bullet under We Say in section B, it explicitly calls out the most frequent mistake non-native speakers make. When talking about car maintenance, they'll put the object at the very end, saying, have serviced your car, which breaks the entire formula. Native speakers rely entirely on that strict spatial word order, rather than just the vocabulary itself, to instantly decode who is actually swinging the hammer or turning the wrench. So the word order is permanently locked in place, but that doesn't mean the formula is stuck in the past. It easily travels through time. Looking at this column breakdown, only the primary verb in the first column morphs to reflect past, present, or future tenses. It shifts from had to are having to should have, while the object and the past participle columns remain completely frozen. Beyond time travel, this formula also has a very common conversational shortcut for everyday informal speech. Let's check out section C here. Notice how it swaps the word have for the word get. Saying, get the roof repaired, maintains the exact same mechanical meaning as our original sentence. It just lowers the conversational formality. That combination, a totally rigid internal order alongside extreme flexibility in tense and formality, makes this an incredibly adaptable tool for daily communication. But there is a catch. This exact formula is not exclusively used for arranging helpful services. Focus in on section D of our guide here, specifically the sentence regarding 2 travelers. Paul and Karen had their bags stolen. If we apply our previous logic strictly, it creates a completely absurd situation. Paul and Karen obviously didn't hire a professional thief to steal their own luggage. The syntax here is actually pulling double duty to express zero agency. It's used when an unfortunate event is inflicted upon a person or their belongings. The guide drives this point home by panning down to a pretty extreme example. Gary had his nose broken in a fight. Because the syntax is totally identical for both contracted services and sudden tragedies, the listener has to rely entirely on real-world context to know whether the speaker is an active delegator or an unlucky victim. Let's put this agency logic to the test with a quick visual check. Look at these 2 scenarios side by side in exercise 46.1. In panel 1, we have Sarah sitting in a salon chair, and over in panel 2, we have Dan holding his own scissors. Look at the multiple choice options beneath them. Based entirely on who is actually holding those scissors, which grammar structure maps to which person? Dan is operating with true DIY agency, meaning he is cutting his own hair. Sarah, on the other hand, is operating with delegated agency. She is having her hair cut. Being able to use this structure correctly means you can distinguish between what you did yourself, what you paid for, and what simply happened to you. It's a practical tool for being exact about who is actually responsible for the physical changes in your life.